All right, gentlemen and ladies, we're getting ready to have the Claressa Shields fight. I'm going to go live real quick because she's getting ready to walk out. This is the co-main event, 12 rounds. Claressa Shields. Have you ever seen her fight?
You know what? No, I haven't seen her fight before. Did she? Did she had her MMA fight, right?
She was in the PFL. She's 1-1 in MMA.
Yeah.
Her she's a fighter. She's a boxer. So it's really hard for her. Here she's going to have to come in and do this whole GOAT thing. Or, she's a great boxer, but what is she going to do on the ground? That's a lot of skills that she's got to pick up at it, quickly. She's a good boxer. So let's see what happens.
Like I say, it all matters. And if you're willing to put in the work and understand that it takes time.
Right.
Which, from what I've seen, it seems like she understands that.
Yeah. She calls herself the GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time.
Not the greatest woman, female boxer, but the greatest woman of all time, period, out of all the women that have ever existed.
Yes.
Well, you know what? If you're going to go for it, go for it.
So, and her PFL was really good. Yeah, you can go and crack it right there on the mic.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a little bit of ASMR here.
There we go. So, all right.
We're not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, by the way. I just got to make that clear. I just like the cough syrup taste of it.
And I went to I was going to put a little cash on that.
No, why couldn't you?
On her, I don't know. Did you try to go to FanDuel?
No, well,
I went to Caesar's Palace. I was going to download it because it's like a negative 2,000 that she's going to win. This lady here, Kozin.
Yeah.
What's her first name? Okay, so it's Kozin. It's like negative 2,000 to plus 1,000 for Claressa Shields. That's how lopsided it was. So I said, well, hell, I'll just go put $10 down.
Now, wasn't this whole card you couldn't bet on?
Yeah, I could. Well, I didn't know anyone else that was on the card.
That just sounds weird.
But like I had, Thurman is fighting tonight. There's a guy named Keith Thurman fighting pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I think, you could bet on that one. So you could bet on boxing. But it was weird because when I was looking up like how much it was like 1,000, in the negative 2,000 to plus 1,000.
Yeah.
That was on damn.
Maybe this organization didn't pay their FanDuel's online betting fee that they have to pay out to.
You know what went through my head was I wonder if it was like because it was so. Is there something where it's so great if they don't want to have if too many people voted for the lady who's getting negative 2,000, would they go like, we ain't gonna be able to pay everybody? Are they like some crappy bookie?
There was a glitch. We're having technical difficulties. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it. I don't know if Caesars or like these different places will like shut down you being able to place bets if it's getting too lopsided.
No, have you went to FanDuel? Did you go to Caesars?
No, well, I went to Caesars. I did not add into any money into Caesars.
You got knocked out first round right here.
This is where I'd vomit.
I could be rich.
I was going to put that $1,000 down. Yeah. See.
Put herky jerky in your hands.
Now there's supposedly some female boxer over in the UK that some people say is even better. Don't ask me her name. What's her name? So how you like it?
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, because obviously I
It must be only 2 minutes because it's already the end of the round.
I'm not a boxing expert. I admit that right here, right now. Mm-hmm. Like, if that girl is 2,000, like, would be plus 2,000?
Yeah, it's plus 2,000.
Yeah, if she's plus 2,000, that's like a big, huge gap. Then, one, why the hell is she in there fighting? Is there nobody else? I mean,
but the thing is,
just
she's a champion. As now, the one
in the white,
Kozin, she's a champion. She's undefeated. Claressa Shields also undefeated, and look, Claressa's looking terrific.
So you got 2 champs in there,
yes.
Both of them undefeated.
Now, it's one of my favorite lines was this one lady, I was watching them talk about this fight, and they said that she has Mickey Mouse belts. So,
her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of those going around in boxing.
Yeah. That went definitely to Claressa Shields. She looked composed. But I guess they're fighting 2-minute rounds. See, I need to get this.
Now, wait a second.
What's that?
Could this be an exhibition type match where it's like your belt's it's like
no, this is a championship fight. You know, she's going for that. I think she's going for that some belt that lady has.
I think we need to start doing fight commentary. All right, we're at the start of the second round. Both ladies meet in the center of the ring.
Yes.
A couple of jabs pumped out by Kozin. Answered by Claressa. Nothing's really landing. They ought to just tie their ankles together.
So where's the clock at? I'm looking for the clock. All right, so it is 2-minute rounds.
Huh.
So, because as we all know, females can go a minute longer in a boxing match, you know. Remember how that was in MMA? It used to be like 3-minute rounds. When it first started, now, it wasn't in UFC. When they came to UFC, it was 5-minute rules across the board. But when females were allowed to get into the UFC or started doing MMA like in Strikeforce, I think it was like 3-minute rounds. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Which makes no sense to me.
I guess they have to keep it in line with that pay gap. Only 70%.
God, she's eating her up.
Yeah.
And this is what, I mean, if you honestly have to say, I mean, Claressa Shields is just, like, that's why boxing, you know, that's why boxing has the trouble. Because, I mean, this was a $30 event.
Yeah.
Okay, that really wasn't that bad of a hit. But when you start getting into the $80 ranges and you're going,
that's what I was about to say, like, compared to what? Didn't UFC raise their
prices? They went up. They went up to $74.99. And like next week's Robert Whittaker and Sonya. You know, and I put money on Robert Whittaker. And Delarouche, but not Benel Delarouche, I believe his name is.
I need to figure out if I want to try my Hail Mary parlay where I just pick every fight on there like I did last time.
Oh, God.
Because if you hit, you're like $100,000.
How much you put in?
Like 10, like 5 or 10.
$10? $100,000?
It depends on who you pick.
Well, if you're going to do something like that, I would highly recommend you do research.
No, that ruins it. That ruins it. Research. You know. I think the next time I do it, I am going to actually legitimately research.
Right.
But the problem is, though, Well, it's not the problem, but the thing is, like, you have to pick a few of the
scrubs.
Yeah,
or
the
like,
scrubs.
I don't want to say scrubs would be bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the underdogs.
Yeah. So
scrubs, underdogs, same thing.
But also I saw where Mackenzie Dern was being matched up with Tisha Torres. So
really,
yeah.
When's that going to take place?
I'm not really sure when it's taking place, but I was like, oh, this is a fight I can actually get behind.
And they just released.
Body shot by Claressa Shields. Okay, that's not.
God,
I mean, look at the thing is, it's like she's just like relaxed, poised, not really moving. Like, didn't see the difference between these two. Is Claressa is more relaxed, waiting. Well, the other one's moving in and everything, but she's too. I don't want to say herky jerky. Like she's too much, which is, I guess, fine.
Yeah, I mean, Claressa's looking great. But we watched her first PFL fight, and then when she fought again, I forgot she was even fighting until like a day or two later when I went on to MMA Junkie or one of the MMA websites.
Yeah.
And so in turn, Bruce Buffer recently, I know Nagano's having his contract dispute.
Yeah.
And Bruce Buffer made some comment that once you leave the UFC, you pretty much become, what's it called? Irrelevant. I was trying to think how he said, but he said that you become irrelevant. And if you really have to look at it, like if John Jones, I know he's had all of his problems. He's probably the greatest fighter of all time. I'd probably say he is.
Yeah.
But if he was to go over to Bellator or PFL or one anywhere, he's not going to. Who cares?
But that's the thing.
One might be. Don't think the reason one would be different is because it's where it's based in Asia or what Singapore. Yeah. So in turn, I think that would, and like UFC's not flooded over there, but he's not going to be heard of from over here.
Yeah, I mean, you could. You can work, you can make money. I'm not sure how much money towards somebody, but still, like, you're going to get paid, but you're not going to have the recognition that you get here in the UFC.
Right. So in turn, when Francis Ngannou, hopefully they can work, we've talked about that a lot, and hopefully he can get that stuff squared away. So, God, she's going to get. I hope she just gets knocked out just to put this.
No, she doesn't get beat for 10 rounds. She looks like the type of person that just won't get knocked out.
Right.
It's like Rocky versus Apollo.
Okay. Yeah, tell yourself that.
Now she gets knocked out, it'll be Rocky versus Clubber Lang, the first match.
I mean, Shields is just stalking her down. All right, going in last minute of the 2-minute rounds of the fourth round.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, God. Shields landed some right. Just finish her off, for God's sake. There we go. Look at that body shot.
I don't know why I was going to do like a very, very obscure reference. I was just going to yell, Lionheart! From that Van Damme movie when he was getting his ass whipped by Attila. And that rally and start fighting back.
I don't even remember. I remember the movie. I don't remember. I remember him going down underneath the bridges and stuff, right? That's where he was underground fighter. God, I would like to see. I want to see her fight someone really good. You know,
like in boxing.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe she is fighting somebody really good, but just compared to her.
Yeah, but that's possible.
Let me see something. Oh, it's like I couldn't tell from the shadows. I was like, does she close her eyes when she punches? No. Does she close her eyes when she gets hit? No, she keeps them open.
Which one were you looking at about
Claressa.
Okay.
It was right when she threw a punch.
Do most people close their eyes when they throw a punch?
No, I don't know. But you've seen a lot of people that, like, when you watch MMA fights, you see some people close their eyes when they go in to punch.
I've never paid attention to them because that just sounds like I'd be telling you to tuck your thumb into your hand. You know, I can't. All right, when you throw the bomb, you make sure you close your eyes. You don't know where that's going to hit. All right, round 5, halfway through. Claressa Shields, unless something dramatically happens, I feel that all 4 rounds have went to Shields.
Instead of this being like a 20-minute fight with like just 2-minute rounds, why didn't you just make it just like a 10-minute, long 10-minute round fight? Like 10-minute round fights.
That would have.
You start getting tired.
You know, remember
like in UFC, like what was it? It was an hour, no, 45 minutes. And first round, and the second round, like 15 minutes worth. I'm thinking way back when it was like
Shamrock, but it was on no time limit. Initially, initially no time limit. Then it went into the. But you know, Rogan had made comments like first round should be like 10, 15 minutes. Oh, I know. Have you been seen off his stuff?
I got online today and I saw him issuing some sort of like explanation. They're like, okay, let me watch this video. And I'm watching the video and I'm like, any idiot could just sit there and look at that and go, understand that it was the stuff he was saying was in certain context.
That was what really was strange to me, was how he apologized for a video that was made and it was out of context.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying, hey, I'm sorry about the jokes, I thought these were going to be funny, blah, blah. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're just having a discussion and I videotape and then I cut it to make it look, and then you issue an apology, it's like, interesting. But they're going, they're
and I like how there were people like I would like people. There were blue check marks on I say on Twitter. There are several people that recognize that it's a witch hunt going, which is exactly what it is. It's a witch hunt,
right?
Because from what somebody said, Joe Rogan's podcast reaches. I'm just repeating information that I've heard. So reaches more people than CNN, Fox News, and all those other organizations.
Right.
So that's why they want to silence them.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, the one thing, and I've said this, I don't understand how CNN or Fox or MSNBC, they've got a 24-hour news channel. Yeah. You know, and after midnight, viewership goes down greatly till 6 or 5 or whatever. Take it and make a couple long form shows.
Yeah.
So you don't. All right, we're going to talk about what's going on in Ukraine with Russia and all that. We don't have to stop. They can actually talk about it, and I go, okay, let's talk about it. You come on and say 2 sentences, and then, all right, we got to go. Now we're going to talk about Pete Davidson and Kanye West feud. It don't make no sense to me. That's why Rogan's good, is because he's now. Granted, sometimes I just can't even like that. You know, I know that what started it was that Robert Malone or whatever, the guy who made the mRNA technology for the vaccine or shot, you know, and when he was on there, so it's like, oh God, I can't listen to it. And I like Jordan Peterson, but even Jordan Peterson at 3-4 hours, I'm like, Ugh.
So there's so much you could take.
Yeah. So, but I do enjoy a lot of his stuff. I mean, I listen to Julia Pena. Did you listen to her?
I listened to part of her clip. I'm not, because I watch on YouTube, not on anything else.
Right. She's going to be coaching with Amanda Nunes.
Is she? I know she wants to.
Yeah, they just announced it's going to be men and women. I can't remember. They're like, we're releasing the names of the men and women, and it's like, okay, but they're the coaches. And if I think she might be like a Chris Weidman is to Anderson Silva.
It could very well be.
Because I'll put money back again on Pena. Yeah. Some fighters you can just look at when they drop them hammers.
Oh, she's going for it.
Yeah. She wants to. What are they fussing about? Were they yelling at her? Or?
I don't know what he's yelling at. Okay, who are you two?
And she was falling asleep. That's nice.
Are you dating?
This, like at the end of this fight, it'll just like go silent, and you'll hear fans. Like there's no in between music playing. It's just like the fight ends, and it's a generic camera and from top of the arena. It's horrible. The production here is $30 worth of production.
I was about to say, it's like they might have well just hung a punching bag in the middle of the ring and just had Claressa punch that for 10 rounds. Look at this fight going.
Here she comes again.
Don't punch for the head, punch for where you think the head's going to be. Okay, when you throw the jab out, the jab.
Left hand? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking to Kozin because she's losing.
Uh-huh.
And Clarissa's got the head movement. Aim for her left, aim for the ears. Aim for where the ears are. Aim for the left ear, don't aim for the face, aim for the ears. Because she's going to dodge your punch. She's going to slip to the side. So
where did you hear that from?
That's me making it up.
That makes sense.
Because I sit there and
has anyone ever said that?
Have you ever heard anybody say that? But I keep seeing somebody like throwing a punch out here. I keep seeing that. But like eventually, if you keep throwing a punch out, you just gotta wing it to the off a little bit, and you'll connect. Hopefully, maybe now, unless they go the other way.
She's fast.
Yeah. It's almost with the like, not that I'm a gun expert. But like when you're hunting or shooting something that's not stationary, like you're shooting at something that's moving, you aim slightly ahead of it. Right. So that way it eventually runs into it. Same concept with this. Now, it will be better if people who actually practice the art of fighting.
Sweet science.
Yeah, the sweet science of fighting actually implemented and like to go because like theory, let us implement your theory because I actually have training on what I'm doing.
Right, yeah. She is so good boxing.
So I mean she's really because she knows she could just that was a quick 2 rounds. I think she really hammers her down when it gets to the lower end. Oh shit, wipe your mouth off. She just like she knows she's getting her butt whipped.
Oh yeah. Now I don't know what her plan is when it comes to MMA. If she's going to come back or
because I remember seeing either watching one of her fights but it ended up on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot remember. How did she win her? Did she say she won one? How did she win that fight?
I think by scorecard.
Oh, okay.
Because when she goes down, she's a fish out of water.
Oh, okay. Does she at least know how to? Because I've seen some people saying like she's not good, but she did. Okay. Does she at least know how to like maybe pull guard.
I mean, she's training with Greg Jackson and that camp.
Oh, okay.
So she's got good coaches and things of that nature. So she has an idea, but it's almost like a white belt.
And
I guess walking right in, like when you were fighting, when you did, when you did Hyper, for instance. You know, you go down there. People have been doing it for a long time.
There I am getting ready. And then of course you got, it's obviously it takes a while to train. Some people pick up stuff faster than others, but you're not going to walk in there and train jiu-jitsu for 6 months and be a Gracie level,
right? Yeah. Unless you're BJ Penn.
Yes, you're a prodigy.
Yeah, BJ Penn, 1 year, and he was a black belt or whatever, and then he won that championship, and God, that was a good fighter. I used to love watching BJ Penn.
Some people really improve. Maybe I don't know how good she would be if she focused on wrestling. Because that'll help.
I get the whole idea with the jiu-jitsu and the submissions and stuff, but I'm in agreement. I really think you teach someone how to do a chokehold but focus on wrestling.
Yeah.
Because anytime I watch a wrestler take on a box or wrestler take on a jiu-jitsu guy, the wrestler wins. It seems like, unless there's just something special with that jiu-jitsu guy. Should have right into the microphone. That would have been so much better.
Didn't have you all over your microphone.
Hey, it'll eventually go away.
I was watching an interview with Sammy. I've seen a picture of the rat pack you got there. And I was watching an interview with Sammy Davis Jr. Long as we was talking about where he lost his eye in a car wreck with him. And he was talking about like how he had the one eye, and he was like, well, I can he's like living life normally, like, oh, I'm fine, I can do things normally. And he was trying to pour a drink.
Hey.
And of course he tried to pour the drink, and it's like he missed it.
There's a chair right there.
Then he explained like he goes from like your one eye becomes basically a wide angle lens.
She already been in? She's in right now. That's Randy.
What are you doing, Randy?
Come here, bud. What round are we in? 9? She's been, yeah.
It's like 2-minute rounds.
She's eating this lady alive. You're off screen. The camera?
No, it's
okay. You're off the screen. Okay.
One thing I like about Claressa Shields is, she's a current boxing champion that actually went and entered the octagon.
Right.
And, you're not going to find that on the male side, as we've discussed. You're just not going to see that. And so on some level, she could say she's the greatest, combat sport fighter. Now, obviously, she needs to experience some success other than she's 50-50 right now in the octagon, and I get that, but
she's just she's not doing what a lot of people do and just talk about the quote unquote superiority of boxing over MMA. She's actually going over there.
Right. And she's training well. She's doing a really good job. At the end of the day, I mean, in MMA, you're going to fight. She's going to run into people who've been doing this since they were kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like if those MMA people came over here and fought her in Boston, she's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
She's going to smoke them. You know what I'm saying? and she's going to run into the same thing there. So the learning curve is going to be considerably different. I tell you what would be interesting, though, is to see her fight somebody like Amanda Nunes, Christine Cyborg. And the reason I say that is because both of them in their fights prefer a stand-up fight.
Yeah.
I realize both of them are very well versed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But if you think about their fights, they typically stay on their feet.
Yeah.
When they fought each other, how did that end? It ended with Nunes and them on their feet, you know. So I would be curious to see Claressa Shields. Now, the minute they go in there against her, it's going to be a straight ground game.
I think what will happen is they'll test out the boxing at first.
And
But
get
once
smoked
they
a couple
realize they're
times.
getting together,
That's right.
well,
Now, I was telling him that Amanda Nunes and Julia Pena is going to fight, or they're going to be coaches on the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're getting ready for their rematch.
Are they going to do it in Brazil?
No,
I think Pena turned down the rematch in Brazil.
I think she did too. I would. She's the champ.
That's right.
You know, you want the belt again. You want to fight. You know.
Yeah, champ wants to defend it in Brazil. That's fine. Get it back.
Yeah. God,
That's
she's like her. I bet you she
Look
just.
at that.
I bet you it just hurts when she hits you.
okay, I'll let Tracy punch me in the face if you let Claressa Shields.
Well, I can tell you.
All right, Tracy can punch Sean in the face, but you have to take a body shot from Francis Ngannou. I wouldn't let you do that because you got to figure, man, there's professional athletes that train that have the core to withstand a blow that he's doubling over. If he hits you, man, you probably spend a week or two in the hospital.
Yeah.
Shit blood.
Yeah.
Homeless man,
And the
homeless man defends himself against a bully, and then Francis Ngannou helps him out when his friend tries to intervene.
And then old Sean, Tracy would give Sean his best shot, and it would just be a little tap. And Sean would be like, it really wasn't that bad.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
you'd
that'd be the
hospitalized.
thing is he would slip and he would just get that little graze and well, that's it. I don't know why she's not raising her hands. She might have a chance.
That'll be a robbery right there.
Yeah, tad bit.
Hopefully she got a decent payday.
Oh,
Hey, did you get the money I sent you?
yeah. Mm-hmm. This was a beat down. Black Claressa Shields. What's that say? So the fucking box mount, you guys, and get the way more viewers. No one wants to sit here and stare at y'all. Okay. Well, if you want to pay for when we get sued,
It's called a watch along, dumbass.
yeah.
Fuck you too, Keith.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna. Uh-huh. Now, see, we just lost monetization because he just said the F word.
Oh,
I know.
Thanks. Thanks, Sean.
You're
I don't
welcome.
think we monetized.
There's
Back
that
up,
$1.50 we were hoping for.
All right, I want Keith to punch Sean.
No. Tell you what.
How about our paper?
Put your cash up or whatever thing you got in the description box, and next time something comes up, you tell Keith to donate to it so he can help pay for it, so we can.
Well, no, but what happens is this is a parroted cop.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get fined, and you're gonna go to jail. So if he wants to put in money for you, I'll gladly give me $1 million. I'll show you all the pay-per-views for $1 million. Then it'll be all sucked away by UFC and this boxing promotion.
Next time I watch a Joe Rogan fight companion, that's all I'm going to do is just spam them. Hey, why don't you show them the fights?
I don't think he does fight companions anymore.
I haven't seen him do one.
It's Brendan Schwab does them. They're horrible.
Yes, and ours is so much better.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. At least he makes money. Uh-huh. Randy. Funny. Yeah, it was strange. They were promoting this fight and I thought this was the main event.
This is not the main event?
No, that guy back there, Eubanks and Williams.
Oh.
That's the main event. This is just a co-main event. So.
Now, since Keith wants to see the fight, what we could do is we could get puppets at the rounds as in a live show, mirroring what's happening in the ring.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense, us getting the puppet show. He's no longer watching.
Zero.
Yeah, I know. For what it's worth, this one has not got any. I mean, people come in. Like at one time we did it for PFL. We had a whole bunch of people hanging around waiting and all that stuff. Well, maybe it's because no one knows about it.
Nobody does anything. Just if you want to watch pirate versions of the fight, go on TikTok.
Are they on TikTok?
Yeah, I've seen a few fights on TikTok. You just scroll through the live feeds, you eventually come across one.
You have to go to TikTok app, or do you go to?
I go to the app. That's right.
Are they online? Or can you like TikTok.com?
I have no idea.
That's good for me, and I finally calmed down where I can break down the body, but it's better than my last performance against the care. So I give myself an A-. Only thing I didn't do was get the damn knockout.
You said before you worked that you were investing in nearly paid dividends. Did you think that the stoppage was going to come?
Yeah, I thought that was going to come. I know round 6, 7, even 5, I was breaking her down. She was in the corner. She was taking 6, 7, 8.
I think Chris Cyborg's going to transition to pro wrestling, because she's got a video up right now. Bellator has a video up right now with Chris Cyborg and Thunder Rosa.
Really?
And it looks like they were training, but in between the training, they decided to do some pro wrestling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see Chris, because look at the success Ronda Rousey's having.
She's horrible. I don't enjoy it. Like, I like Shayna Baszler. I'll stand by it. I know I've said it before. I'll beat that dead horse, but.
Are you guys surprised that Cyborg did not want a rematch with Nunes?
She said she was calling for it, but UFC didn't want to give it to her. I think she must be the one.
Oh, the next.
To move bitch, because I wanted Emma to get off the way, because the girl that I want is Cigar Marshall. That's why I'm here. She know that's why I'm here, and that's why she came. And I got my job, so her job is March 12th, and then I'll see her back here.
Let's bring her in right now, Cigar Marshall. Cigar, just want to stand here and we're bringing Ben Shaw on first. Ben, the pressure shifts to you. This is a super fight. 5 for women's boxing. Can you make it now and next?
Yeah, I think we're going to talk to Dimitri Talita after this. I think, first of all, it's a pleasure to have Claressa Shields over here. And great performance. Ema Kozin as well was very tough. But, you know, Claressa called herself the greatest woman of all time. But I'm sorry, you have a lot on your record, and it's Savannah Marshall. And I think Savannah is probably the only girl that has what it takes to beat Claressa. But we'll see. But it's up to me, Dimitri, now to try and make, as you say, probably the greatest.
I wonder why they're not letting her talk.
Maybe she can't talk. Here we go.
Okay.
Make the promo good. Will.
Can we turn it up just a little bit? Yeah.
She said if you perform like that against her, she's going to wipe the floor with you.
Oh, beautiful. Guess what? You couldn't wipe my drawers. You hear me? You can't do shit with me. You know what? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See? Ain't no punk. I'm not scared. That's why I'm here. You didn't come to America. I can't hear. I can't hear.
Got her mad.
I'm not sure there's much more left to say there that hasn't already been said.
I want to see that fight.
That was, yeah. That's how you build a fight right there.
Well, that's why they brought her in.
Yeah.
Boy, it set her off.
She told Claressa shit. She said, if you fight like that against me, I'm going to wipe the floor with you. I want to see that fight, buddy.
Now, hopefully that lady wins.
Yeah, we need to figure out who was that.
Well, does it say Williams? It sounded like Michelle Williams, but I don't think that's what the name was. So
She's mad now.
then she got back in the ring. Can't wipe my drawers.
Don't hurt my drawers.
No.
Like, I'm not going to wipe your drawers. I'm going to whip your ass.
Randy.
It's just a matter of just
see,
getting the pay right.
Like right here, they just cut. There's no one talking. Nothing. You know, it's such a weird thing that they've done.
Too bad you couldn't record like part of this, and then when the live stream started, you just had that playing on loop like on the screen, so that when people tune in, they're sitting there going, "All right, here we got a live thing of the fight." See how long it takes them to watch that before they realize, wait a second, they're not showing anything.
Just keep looping it. Yeah.
Well, you guys suck.
Well, what did you think of Claressa Shields? Was it your first time you watched her?
Is it your first time seeing her fight?
Yeah.
Oh. What you think?
That's all right.
You going tonight?
Where? No.
Boy, that was fast. Where? No. I could have been Yeah.
Now, where are you going?
It's Pizza Den Salem, and they're only playing for an hour.
It's Phantom Zone.
I don't know. I keep thinking Pizza Den's closed.
Well, if it is, somebody didn't tell Phantom Zone when they booked them.
No, they opened up Pizza Den up in Salem, went from one spot to over there. That's it. So they're playing from 8 to 9. Going to have a. That's it.
So you know what? This is a time now where I just finish him off. Finish his career off, so he never needs to look at boxing again.
What did y'all think about Shane McMahon getting fired?
Shane McMahon got fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't follow
I don't know if you saw it on
Well,
Facebook.
apparently
or
he
anything.
caused a big stink with the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was actually really good.
the.
Yeah, we watched it, and
You know, we're saying was good, and there a lot of people are saying that it wasn't good, and even people in WWE said it wasn't good.
okay, so when I say the Royal Rumble was good, I guess I enjoyed the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns storyline, and and I actually tuned in just to see Mickie James because they actually recognized her as the Impact Women's Champion.
Okay.
I wanted to see how she was going to be done, since they actually, since she actually made the march to the ring.
Yeah.
She did okay. Lita, eliminated her.
Okay.
But she got me. I kind of bought the promo she cut because she talked about she was going to go to WrestleMania and make it a champ versus champ. But look, at the end of the day, man, it's just not going to happen. That'd be like the Bellator champ calling out a UFC champ. It's never going to happen. Bellator can jump up and down and holler, "I want to fight your champ." Ain't going to happen.
Now, I heard something which was actually interesting. They were talking about the forbidden door, and it was on Conan's podcast. It was someone on Conan, but they had actually been in talks with John Moxley. Well, they were going to do Chris Jericho, and then someone said, "We don't want Jericho, we want John Moxley." And they were going to have Moxley go all the way to like second to last. So it was like going to look like he's about to win it. And it fell through because I guess AEW was said Jericho could do it. But with Moxley's contracts coming up in May, I think, May or June, that they were afraid that if he went over there, he would re-sign with them. So, and I thought that was really interesting that they would even
entertain that.
Yeah. I mean,
but now that's
been
all fine and dandy that they're inviting talent to their show. Are they going to send talent to those shows?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
I mean, I know Jerry Lawler was always down for an appearance at ECW,
but what that ECW was owned by WWE pretty much. It was like going down to Smoky Mountain. They went down to Smoky Mountain too. But
that's true because they sent Shawn Michaels down there to fight Buddy Landell.
Yeah, but they were going down there to cherry pick and close the promotion down. Go down there, see who's good. Let them know that they've got a spot if they're really good. And
did Shane book the Royal Rumble?
No, I don't know who booked it. All I know is he wanted. Well, you've seen it. Like he's been. He was wanting a better spot. He wanted to get a lot more people. Well, he wanted to get over more.
Yeah.
And then Vince changed everything, like what they had decided. And Shane was just don't want to fit, and they moved him on. Which that's really, McMahon's always said that he would get rid of his kids, but there's absolutely no way Shane McMahon would ever go to AEW or what's that like NWA or anything. Who would want Shane McMahon to come over? All I'd be doing is
listen.
thinking
At the end of the day, Shane McMahon may be an on-screen personality for WWE, but Shane McMahon is not going to sign with another promotion as wrestling talent.
Yeah,
right.
He at the end of the day, he's just like Vince McMahon. He's an executive that just happened to be in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? So,
because he would just be sharing gossip and everything. this guy's contract's coming up because they can't touch or negotiate with the people. He would just be sharing that with his family if that actually ever happened, which that's not going to happen. Crowd singing something.
Just singing to the song.
Oh, that's Oasis.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe. I was gonna say maybe since this isn't the fight's not taking place here, maybe that has some reason why you can't bet on it. But I don't know why that would be. 'Cause
No, you can bet anywhere else.
Yeah.
thank God I couldn't bet on it. Granted, I was just going to put 10 bucks on it, but still.
Give a very special welcome to the West End and Broadway star, the Welsh sensation, John Owen Jones. Sing along with me, Cardiff. Delilah. I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. Saw the flickering shadows of love on a blind. She was my woman. And she deceived me, I was still out of my mind. Sing it! My Delilah. Why, Delilah? I could see that girl was no good for me. But I was lost like a slave that no man could free.
Well,
I was just trying to think if there's anything else. I mean,
I was waiting. I crossed the street to her house and she opened the door. She stood there laughing. I felt the knife in my hand and she left no more.
I guess Conor McGregor might fight, what's his face, Michael Chandler. So, I do think that would be a win for Conor McGregor.
I don't know about that.
I think
I'm going to tell you why I don't know about that, because, again, I stand behind Conor McGregor does not have the same fire that he did on the way up. Chandler, on the other hand, is struggling to find his place in the UFC. He, dynamite fighter.
Yeah.
And granted, he has fought, Gaethje. Who else did he fight? He fought for the title. He fought Oliveira for the title.
yeah.
And I think that, and he's put on good performances. But I just saw a recent interview with him, man, and he said, I need a win. And so he's coming in there hungry.
Yeah.
well, for what it's worth, too.
And he's not coming in there to lay down to Conor McGregor just so Conor McGregor can, have his first win since 2018.
Right.
Not been that long.
Yeah. And his last win was against Donald Cerrone, who chokes under pressure anyways. As much as I love Cerrone, every time he gets the big fight, he chokes.
Yeah, he does.
So
What's the last thing what's he doing? Donald Cerrone.
he's getting ready to fight
Joe Lazon.
Joe Lazon.
God, they're old men.
Joe.
I mean, honestly, they were Joe Lazon was there when we started.
Well, if
2006.
you remember, Joe Lazon knocked out Little Evil,
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
showed up on the next season of Ultimate Fighter
with Little Evil training him, right?
coaching. Well, he's on opposite.
He was on the opposite side, yeah.
That's somebody you don't hear nothing from is Little Evil.
No.
Now Chris Lieben has transitioned. He's now a ref.
Oh, okay.
He went over to bare knuckle fighting, and his final fight he won.
Yeah.
Bare knuckle fighting, and now he is a referee.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Lee. Which honestly, that's probably for the best. Like Frank Trigg, you need these guys, man, that have been in those fights, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then
I think you need them type of fighters also for reffing too, because I think some of the reffing is horrible.
that's what I just said.
Well, did you say reffing? I mean, I'm score judging.
Oh, okay, yes,
I
yes,
hear
yes.
scoring,
Yeah,
judging,
yeah.
not
I was gonna
reffing.
say, I just said ref, and I was like, well, that's what I just said. I agree with you.
Hot take.
But I think, I definitely think that I think you're right. I think it would be nice to see some of them guys do the scoring.
Right.
Hey, when are we going to go to the pizza den? Are we going to eat there?
If you want. If we would, we'd probably go 7:30. Probably 30, let me say. I won't get there 2 hours. Watch warm-up bands.
On his way into the ring, the machine, Liam Williams.
Are you excited about this fight?
Oh, yes. Very excited about this fight. I will be watching closely. Hopefully this is a closer contest than what the last fight was.
I would like to see him walk out. One of them. I don't care which one. Just go out there and get knocked out. Can you take that screen and just pull it forward so your head's not getting chopped off? Yeah.
What do you mean pull it forward?
So, not pull look like so it tilts up. So like there we go. So your head's not chopped off. Either that or you can squat down more.
The frame was great the way it was. Maybe look larger than life.
You could. What is it with the camera? You scoot forward so you could be like one of the hobbits.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm
And then we'll
forward,
sit
and then
back.
like, so I'm the giant, you're the hobbit.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Now I see Tyson Fury's getting ready to fight Dillian White.
Dylan White?
Yeah, but he's calling out Francis Ngannou.
Tyson Fury's calling up Francis.
Well, Francis Ngannou and him are having a little spat on Twitter.
Yeah.
Francis wants to go box because he wants to make money, he says. And that's it.
And now, please welcome his opponent to the ring, Chris Eubank Jr.
Sean, do you know who that is?
Well,
It was Jim Jones.
no.
Jonestown.
You asked, but where was the picture at? Oh, that's because when you flipped it around, it was on the other.
It was on the other picture.
It was on that water picture. Who was that? Oh, was that you?
It's me. Jim Jones. And all I said on it was, I'm glad I was driving, so I decided not to drink because in Jonestown, that's where the whole drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Because it was mass suicide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was the charismatic pastor that led them astray.
Yeah, I really, for this fight, I just want to see you and Keith hook it up. Keith from the internet. Right there. That's just thinking about it. I know I'm going back an hour or whatever, however many minutes. An hour. I just want to let you know. I just want to see you fight Keith and Tracy. I'm going to write you a list of people and watch you fight.
Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and in 11 stone 5 pounds. As a professional, his record stands.
Have any of you ever seen the show Arcane on Netflix?
RKO on Netflix?
Arcane.
No.
Oh, I highly recommend it. It's an animated show based on the game League of Legends, but it is getting. It's a good show. It's been like highly recommended among a lot of people.
I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah. I didn't hear about it until people were recommending it, and then I got Netflix so I could watch Witcher 2, season 2, and I was like, well, this is on here. Let me go ahead and check it out.
Now I watched first episode of Murderville.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I thought the first episode was funny. With Conan O'Brien, it's Will
Watch
Arnett.
the second episode.
There, he's like a detective. I don't know where he's at.
You need to watch
Will
The
Arnett.
Righteous Gemstones
Right.
on HBO Max.
Yeah.
That's great. It's hilarious. Do you watch Raised by Wolves on HBO Max, or do you have HBO Max?
I don't have HBO Max.
That's a Ridley Scott thing. I was thinking their second season just come out.
I watched a few episodes of the first season, and I enjoyed what I saw.
Okay.
But then I got rid of HBO Max. So.
You know what I expect. Stay professional, obey my commands, and most of all, protect yourselves at all times. To truth, boys.
Here we go.
They looked like they were ready to fight.
You know, like you said before, sometimes the guys that posture so much and look like they're going to run out there and kill each other.
Yeah.
That it's almost like you don't want to see that, because that guarantees they're going to come out and stall. They're not going to engage because they don't want to be the one getting caught.
Right.
Whereas the guy that comes out there, man, and it's just, he wants to win, but it's a fight for him, Sometimes you get a scrap out of those guys because, man, they're relaxed, or, at least able to work to being relaxed, and they follow a game plan. They're, you know what I'm saying? They're not.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't wrote checks that they're afraid they can't, their ass can't. It's one of those things, if they lose, there's no perceived embarrassment from losing because they've talked so much trash. You see what I'm saying? It's like when Diego Sanchez fought Josh Koscheck. And Diego, of course, was up there mean mugging and, just acting a fool. And, and he never engaged Koscheck. And Koscheck beat him by a point. It was a terrible fight.
I remember that because I remember y'all hyped it up because y'all were the ones who watched that season.
Yeah.
Remember, they were really mouthing off at each other. And then when you watched the hype video,
yeah,
they were mouthing off at each other. It's like, oh boy, they're going to throw hands.
Yeah, and that was a freaking waste. That was a waste of a fight, man.
Gosh, Diego Sanchez, he's ever in bare knuckle fighting, isn't he?
See, I was wondering what happened to
I
him.
think
He brought him up because, the last time I heard anything about him, people were concerned about his mental health.
Right.
And then there was
the guy that he had managing him was a nut job too.
Yeah.
And he went from Nightmare, the Diego Nightmare Sanchez to Diego the Dream Sanchez. Just I will tell you this, going back to Conor McGregor, he may not have the same passion that he had at one time, but I think Conor feels desperation. because I think his pride and his ego is killing him.
Yeah.
That he's in there not getting it done like he used to.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's down.
Woo!
Put one down
What
the
the hell,
pipe.
you
What is
know-
he doing? He's carrying the guy. I mean, he picked him up by the waist. I mean,
Oh, he's hurt.
Ooh.
Them legs.
So I'm just curious as to what Josh Koscheck was up to now.
What is it?
I don't know. I couldn't see anything really up to date, but let's see. He's on social media. Is he doing dirt bike and stuff? Because he has some dirt bike stuff on his.
Is that like the motorized dirt bike? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe that's what
oh,
doing.
he went right into that. You see that? He stepped
Yeah.
right into it.
Some answers. What happened?
What's the matter, Randy?
You know, Randy.
Must have heard the thing come on. Which one's you bake, Junior? Is that the guy in red or white? I have no clue. I guess y'all don't know either.
I'm just gonna go with the guy in red.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's the only one for.
You know, but that Claressa Shields fight, it was negative 2,000 to plus 1,000. That was how lopsided the fight was
Oh, good Lord.
by the bookies.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
See right there, they were saying when Conor fought Mayweather, that's how he should have took the knee so that way he could have stayed there, got down 10 count just to.
You mean they don't want 10 count?
Well, yeah, he could have got. Oh
What do you?
God, he loved wrapping him up by his waist.
Yeah. I give it to that guy in the white trunks, man. I mean, he is like, he's wanting to get in there and mix it up, man, but I think he's doing it to his detriment. You know what I mean? Because it's like he's definitely not backing down, but it's like, man, he's catching you when you get reckless like that. You know, Jake Paul was wanting to fight Khabib.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's like, if he fights Khabib, it's going to be MMA. Khabib's not coming to boxing.
Yeah.
And if he and let's be honest here, let's be very frank. I think you could set a 2-minute time limit, and that may be generous.
Yeah.
But you could set a 2-minute time limit, and within that time frame, Khabib's going to drag him to the ground, and he's going to maul him.
Yeah.
It's not. Listen, I'd like to tell you that. Oh well, he's got a puncher's chance. Listen, that's not going to happen.
Was there any talk about one of the Diaz brothers?
And the Paul,
brothers?
yeah. There was with Nate, but both of them are in. Well, both of them got contracts with UFC.
Right.
The fight to make with the Paul brothers, which they'll never do, I think we would be a big money maker. Well, obviously, unless of course they can get one of these big name people to come over there.
Yeah.
Jake Paul versus Logan Paul.
No.
Brother versus brother.
I like the idea of the Paul brothers taking on the Diaz brothers. That's the one I really would like.
See, that would be good.
Yeah. Now I think I would go.
I think the Diaz. The only thing about that fight though is I feel like the Diaz brothers boxing is sloppy.
Yeah.
And I think that what we would see is you'd see the Diaz. There'd be a lot of great trash talk going into it.
Yeah.
But I think you'd see it go the distance, only to have the Pauls win by decision.
Yeah.
Because the Diaz brothers would be walking into their punches. And it's, that pains me to say because I prefer the Diaz brothers over the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, their boxing is sloppy.
Yeah. And someone's, I wish I remember who said it, but they were talking about like Nate Diaz, for instance. They said if he had no time limit, he would be undefeated because he's a methodical. They do that.
Well, he started when he fought Jorge Masvidal. If you remember, he was starting to catch his rhythm.
Yeah.
When he got the cut.
When they stopped the fight due to the cut. And so, as he was starting to kind of get into the groove, you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Yeah, if this was we're going to last man standing, no time limit, Diaz would be hard to put down.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I know Nick had his fight last. Nick don't want to fight no more.
That's very apparent.
That was the problem with that. I mean, that wasn't that exciting it was him versus Robbie Lawler.
And that was probably the most out of shape I've ever seen Nick look.
Yeah. He looked like a retired fighter coming in just to have a payday.
Yeah.
I would even have accepted it if he just came in there just to get out of the contract. But I can tell you right now with Francis Ngannou, they all know what they've signed with the contract.
That's right.
It's like if you don't want to, don't fight for the belt because you can fight your contract out.
Yeah.
And
a little action there after the belt.
Yeah, from Eubank.
Oh, is he going to penalize both of them?
I just didn't think about Juliana Pena when she was doing the interview, talking about like her wanting to fight. She goes like, I think she wants to fight so she can make money. Because I want to make money because I'll fight Fedor.
Right.
I just want to make money.
But in the end of the day, that's the truest statement. I think I love Jake Paul. I like the Paul brothers. I mean, I get it. But he's make that money. Because especially these guys they're going in here in combat sports in 15 years they're fucking can put a sentence together without mumbling it through.
No, I saw one thing where it was a face-off between two women. Like, is that going to be on one of his pay-per-view cards where he fights, or is he putting together?
He's putting that together.
He's putting together
Yes.
actual boxing card that he's not a part of.
Yes, he's. I don't know what his Hey, what happened there?
It's like, you can't do that for me.
And I cannot remember, but they said she's a really good. She was on the boxing card, his last card with. But did he fight Ben Askren last?
No, you talking about Jake?
Paul. Yeah.
No, Tyron Woodley. Remember, he knocked him out.
Okay, well, no, it's the one before that, the first Tyron Woodley fight.
Yeah.
With Paul, they had that lady fought on there, and he was talking about how, she didn't get paid what he thought, and he took money out of his own paycheck.
Oh, another knockdown
to make sure to raise her payoff.
Oh, okay. And
I gotta agree with Brian. I mean, I know Jake, the Paul brothers people have different opinions of them, but one thing about it, man, is they're advocating for to get these guys paid. So you know what I'm saying? It's like Tyron Woodley made what, $5 million when he got knocked out,
something like that. If you believe, obviously, if you believe it. The only thing that I would say is some of these people want to have these fighters making so like they're Floyd Mayweather on the undercard.
That's right.
You can't have that. I mean, for this fight to get together, these guys are going to get paid heavy.
Look, at the end,
Claressa Shields get paid heavy.
Well, no, at the end of the day, these guys aren't going to make Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder money.
Right. Yeah.
These two guys, nobody knows who the shit they are. I mean, unless you're a hardcore boxing fan.
Right, absolutely.
But I've never heard of these guys till tonight.
Look, like I said, the Claressa Shields fight, I thought that was the main event because the way it was promoted on my Facebook
they
feed,
promoted her because she was the name.
Because no one's going to go, hey, Eubanks Jr. versus Williams.
Right.
Okay.
Claressa Shields sold this pay-per-view.
Right.
Now, this has been a good fight. Don't get me wrong.
It has been.
But should these guys be walking down there with Tyson Fury money? Absolutely not.
But at the
Tyson,
well, go ahead.
I'm saying Tyson Fury is a much bigger name, and it's just, he puts more eyes on the sport.
Right, but probably if you were a boxing fan, you probably know these guys compared to the people on the undercard. So these folks should make a little bit more.
Oh, sure. So
even if you put it at their level, I mean,
no, don't get me wrong, man. Yeah. I mean, I think these guys should be paid fairly. And let's be frank here. Let's not act like that Chuck Liddell and Rich Franklin and Forrest Griffin and Rashad Evans and all these guys didn't make a damn good living fighting for the UFC.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, on some level, listen, Conor McGregor, the UFC did not promote Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor made himself.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar did not get promoted by UFC. Brock Lesnar came in because there was a target on his back because he come from the world of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay? And when them guys got in the ring and performed, they made people want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's at the end of the day, that's what it matters. I mean,
you can't expect a big payday if you're not putting asses in the seat.
That's
but
right.
I think it's when you do that, I do think you need to have. There should be some you need to be pushing just as much as the organization. Yeah. That club down, Jack was up in Northern Virginia. The one down in Charlotte on the way, it said, if you're not selling X amount of tickets,
they'll cancel.
We will cancel you because it's not just their responsibility to promote your band.
Yeah,
and I always loved that.
All right, Williams is in the white trunks. Eubank is in the red.
That scorecard with Eubanks Jr., I think, was definitely right.
Eubanks wants to stand and just throw trade there, but that's not going to work out but he knows that's going to get him a quick night if that dude will do it.
Yeah. I wouldn't cheer for it. Nothing's happening. That's how see Khabib has himself an organization. He's put
Right.
together.
Yeah, Eagle FC.
Yeah.
I saw what's his face mate got his first win in a while. Rashad Evans.
Oh, okay.
Oh, does he fight for him?
Yeah, came out of retirement.
And I heard about it because the guy I watch on YouTube, WMA Addict, he covers women's MMA. And he wanted to address the comments that could be made about female fighters, saying it's only about, somebody asked him, you're going to have female fighters in your organization? And he was like, well, basically we'll see. And said it's only about 5, really good female fighters in the world. So
That's an inaccurate statement.
yeah. Oh, no, I only got excited for nothing. Hey, Williams, you know how to throw an uppercut?
Now is he ducking? He's not. Is that keep going into that guy's head? I mean, it looks like he just keeps going down. That guy just grabs him in a headlock, right?
Yeah, it's like he keeps ducking low, and then I guess where they're close, the guy just
Grabs his head so they can have to pull back, I guess. Oh, Randy's so sleepy. What's that?
I'm just picking somebody tuning in, just seeing us sitting here in silence.
Well,
What the fuck is this shit?
why don't you say something, man? Bring up a topic. We'll discuss it.
Did you get that thing I sent you on Twitter from there's 87 bash
from the
from
Running
Sharing
City,
Center? Yeah. We were probably at that.
Oh, yeah. It was a picture of superpowers, which was Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, the Road Warriors, and the cage match against the Horsemen.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was we were talking about.
And the Horsemen comprised of Tully, Arn, Flair, and Lex.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that is. It'd be nice if they put the names up of these guys. Well, and he also, I mean, he's a sheriff or
He's
a police
He's
officer.
a Bolton sheriff.
You don't know that. He could just be wearing that for
In England. What were they called over there? Bobbies?
constables.
Constables.
Bobby.
Well, but like I like when they put up the names of the people, though.
It would be nice to know who we're looking at.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like I would have liked to have had that lady's name. Who
Right.
that got me excited.
Yeah,
that really
that,
did.
that makes me want to see her
Yeah.
fight Claressa Shields.
They should go on and just
Start putting the names up there.
right.
We need to go. We need to go to Nashville and see the Crockett Cup.
It's next month. I wish it was in Concord again. I would. Nashville's 8 hours away.
You know, there's a direct flight, Brian. There's a direct flight from here to Nashville now through Allegiant. And Allegiant's relatively cheap. It's like flying directly to Orlando. They're doing it straight into
Well,
Nashville.
see, I think I need to go get my ID fixed for my driver's license because now you need to be a real ID.
You haven't got that fixed?
No, I never got it fixed.
Holding out to the end.
Yeah, I'm not even vaccinated. They don't want you to be on the.
Even Sadie's got a real ID with her learner's
I know.
permit.
We were trying to warn people, but you guys kept voting.
Look, you guys are just out there stealing votes.
Are you going to go there are you wanting to do both nights? Or are you just doing the one night Crockett Cup? Because it's 2-night event.
Well, I mean, I hadn't got that far yet. I mean, I want to go. I would be open to go on both nights, but you obviously now are not interested.
No, but if we can,
would you go?
No.
And you won't go see.
Not under the circumstances.
And you're not even going to go see Phantom Zone?
Right.
And they're in town.
That was funny. Hey, you gonna go? You gonna go see him? Who? No.
After process, who? Oh, Phantom Zone. No.
He didn't even say that. He goes, "You going to go tonight?"
No,
he didn't even say who it was.
No, that was the thought process. Who's he talking about? Oh, he that message on.
That was so funny the way you did that, man. You shut it down fast. Who? No.
And Ring of Honor put the Briscoes into the Hall of Fame. That was their big announcement.
Oh.
I think Hall of Fame should be only for people that are retired. I don't want to see the Hall of Famers in the ring. That's just me.
Unless they're walking out to the Royal Rumble to get tossed out.
Yeah. I mean, hell, TNA's got, or Impact's got a Hall of Fame. Because I know when they first did it, they were going to make the big announcement. They made all the wrestlers walk out on the ramp.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle was still with them. Then they announced Kurt Angle was the. So they surprised them. I guess they surprised everybody.
Surprised everybody was announced like Kurt Angle was the Hall of Fame. Yeah, by the way, we have a Hall of Fame now.
TNA now has a Hall of Fame. And you're part of it.
Somebody get knocked out. I saw where some political official, some guy running for political office in North Carolina, wants Gina Carano in jail.
Are you kidding me?
Why?
Well, because Gina Carano's a bad person. It's just like,
hey, are you watching the Book of Boba Fett?
yes.
How are you liking it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's like Boba's worthless. He's worthless.
Well, yes, because let's be honest here. They've established the Mandalorian to where the best episodes so far in Boba Fett have been with the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And this most recent one, I think they said Boba Fett only got like a minute and a half of screen time in his own show. And the rest of it was all Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker and Grogu and what was Anakin's Padawan?
Ahsoka.
Yeah, and she's in it.
Because they have Boba Fett. Well, obviously people have how they remember Boba Fett from the movies, which
was very limited.
He's very limited right there. But he gets in here and like the first thing he's not the ruthless person that he was portrayed in the movies. And like I understand they have to build up the character and build him up and like whatever, but
well, he was a bounty hunter, but did they really paint him as ruthless?
Darth Vader, I think there's one throwaway line where Darth Vader goes, and I want him alive, talking like the Boba Fett. And then people are going, well, here you have Darth Vader telling this guy, you got to kill out.
Oh, I thought Boba Fett told Vader he's no use to me dead.
I can't remember the whole thing, but I don't know what the comparison. Here you have Darth Vader telling this guy, hey, you better just chill out a little bit. So I just think that they're just telling them.
I think if anything, they're going to piss the people that tuned in for Boba Fett off because the last 2 episodes have been so heavily Mandalorian. But
he needs to take a point from that guy if he wants. Don't
And
just get in. Don't yet keep yelling at him. If you don't like him headbutting him.
And I think the latest complaint that I saw from some people that watched the show, and I think maybe they like the show, but they have complaints about it. Long story short, they took too long to establish, like, now they got the Pikes as the bad guys, they all have the team. It's like, well, why are you going to introduce these characters when the show is about to be this big threat, as opposed to just having them be at the beginning of the show, establish them then?
what do you think about that gunslinger that came to town?
Cad Bane?
Is that what his name is?
Yeah, he's from the animated. He's from the show.
Okay.
From the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and he's pretty badass.
That dude was badass. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you're not watching Book of Boba Fett, you gotta check it out. The Mark Hamill reprises Luke Skywalker, and they do
Really?
and they do the whole de-aging.
How's that look?
Some scenes it looks really good. Some scenes it's like you could tell it's, you know what I'm saying?
What was weird though, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Luke Skywalker, and I looked at it and I was like, did they hire like some actor that looks
Well,
like
Sebastian Stan,
him?
a lot of people have been advocating for him to play Luke because him and Mark Hamill favor each other.
Now here's the thing, I also favor that, but because they look like each other, Mark Hamill acknowledges it. And then there are certain times where I watch Sebastian Stan in interviews and the way his mannerisms and stuff, and sometimes when he's acting, is Luke Skywalker like. He could pull it off. Why Disney isn't? Well, because they're a bunch of dumbasses. That's why.
I don't know why. I mean, look, when they did the last 3 Star Wars, they had all the people were alive, obviously. Yeah. Where you had more people alive. And they squandered it.
Have you seen the
Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker?
I've seen bits and pieces on the TBS and stuff. I've never sat down and watched it.
You need to watch it. It's good. It really is. I mean, I take it for what it's worth. But you gotta understand, I absolutely despised what they did with the what was the second one there? The Last Jedi. I just despised it. And when they came back with the Rise of Skywalker, J.J. Abrams did a good job with it, man. I felt good about the way that it played out. I enjoyed it.
I guess the only reason that I haven't been excited to watch it is because since they were all 3 pretty much standalone movies, so in turn it wasn't like it was building me up.
It was almost like you had the first movie and you had the second movie, which wanted to dismantle stuff from the first movie,
right?
But then the third movie was like, no, we're going to dismantle stuff from your movie.
So really, it was like that. That's why I haven't been excited. I mean, I knew what happened, and I saw stuff on YouTube, but TBS is about the most I've seen of it.
Like the biggest problem with that whole thing was they didn't have a plan going in there, and they were too busy. Wanting to, for lack of a better term, do the Forces female type deal, move past the old characters and start getting these new characters in there. But there's the way they could have did it.
Right.
That would have been satisfying to the old fans, new fans, and start all over. Instead of now having to rely on what the nostalgia made.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have did the sequel to the Disney trilogy, sequel trilogy, and they would have did Luke Skywalker the way that fans wanted him done, he wouldn't be in The Mandalorian now. There wouldn't be a need to have him de-aged in these series now, because people would have been like, oh, we're satisfied with Luke's story ending, so now we can move on to these new characters.
What's the one Luke when he came back? What was that movie? Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Where that weird looking Luke showed up. But that's how Luke should have been portrayed.
Yeah.
Well, and this time he's training Grogu, because there he showed up for Grogu.
Right.
And now in the Book of Boba Fett,
He's training.
the Mandalorian went and sought him out. And you see where they build the temple that was shown in these, it shows how Luke, they're kind of giving backstory to some of the stuff that was set up in these last three.
Let's see. 10-9-9-9.
Wow, Williams have started coming back.
Utilizing the ropes and Ema Kozin,
There's one guy following online. He's starting up his own comic book universe.
Who is it?
Eric July, Young Ripper 59.
Okay.
And he's one of the ones that's very vocal about the direction that the big two have been going in with the identity politics and stuff. And he's just hardcore. He's like, look, these people can't stand you, so why are you going to continue giving your money to people that hate you? And he goes we need to give them alternatives. And, a lot of people are doing the crowdfunding for individual books, but he's like, look, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So he's actually wants to, like I say, start up his own comic book universe. Instead of doing the crowdfunding, he'll still do a little bit, but he's going to just make the book and then sell the book that way through his own store that he's creating.
Right.
How far along is he?
He's close to making announcements for it because he has a story written.
Is he local?
No, he's out of Texas. But like I said, he's on there. He's libertarian, right?
Good.
And he's also he actually has I don't know what his band is, but he has a successful band out there too. So he has money. So he's able to have money to where he could invest in it in the way he wants to invest in it, as far as paying good artists and stuff.
Well, I think that's a good thing. I mean, now with crowdfunding, can they take? Reason I'm saying this is because the truckers up in Canada, they're doing that convoy.
Yeah.
People started a GoFundMe account to help
Yeah.
do something, and they took all the money from it.
Yeah.
They're refusing to pay out.
Yeah. So in turn, can crowdsourcing that you were talking about? Have you ever heard? Is it like GoFundMe, or is it going directly to the artist?
See, there again, why is GoFundMe taking a stance like that? When you set the platform up, you know what I'm saying? They said it. I mean, idiots can put on there, I want to go buy a Whopper.
Yeah.
Start a GoFundMe, and if they make $5,000 to go buy a Whopper, that's their money.
Right.
But it's like, how can you sit here and put it out there for people to support whatever, but then you want to pick and choose on political ideas? And it's like, you can't tell me that they're surprised that something like this came along.
Well, you see, that's kind of one of the things that Eric talked about. He goes these people, you gotta understand that, while you're sitting here, people on the right, like the conservatives and whoever else on the right, they'll go, you're trying to be noble and fight fair, when these people are using every dirty tactic in the book, and they're going to keep using every dirty tactic, because then you're going to lose if you keep trying to fight fair against these people.
Right.
So, but intentionally, I don't know if they hold money up or whatever. I know Kickstarter had a thing where they wouldn't allow certain people with certain political views to use their platform, but I haven't heard too much about Indiegogo doing that.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The lady authoritarian left.
You know, some people mistake. Like if I went into business, say I had a platform like a GoFundMe,
Yeah.
and my goal was to make money, okay? And I set up the parameters and whatnot. Look, man, if you don't like somebody's political persuasion or something like that, that's your business, man. I'm here to make money. I'm here to run a business.
Yeah.
If I want to make a political statement, I'll do it at the voting polls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take my business and start making it a place for political statements, and I'm not going to be pressured by people to force me to take a political stance. It's like, no. People forget what business is supposed to be.
Yeah, but then the problem is you get people, either somebody that started the business has the mindset of the people on this side, so they're going to use whatever tactics they can to silence the other side, or people end up getting jobs and working in there, in these industries that have those viewpoints. And why people are so afraid of these individuals that really at the end of the day don't matter, have zero power other than what you give them.
Right.
That's what I was really. Now I know. I mean, look, if someone came along and said, "Here's $100 million," like Joe Rogan did, yeah, I would sign over stuff easy. Get the concept.
If somebody walked up and said, "Here's $100 million," let Tracy punch you in the jaw. Would you do it?
Oh, come on, Tracy.
You'd probably let him take a couple swings at you, wouldn't you? Now, let's be honest. What if this was pro wrestling, what would be fun is for Sean to say, "All right," and he takes the first tap. Tracy goes for the follow up. He slips it, and then he throws his punch on Tracy.
What's that? 2 more?
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
He's the
Who's
guy.
the guy? Who's
He's
the
the one
guy
that can be
left?
walking to the ring and confront him next time.
All 3 of them look like characters. You have the guy in the fur coat on this side. You have the guy that I guess it's like Usman was wearing.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of jacket that is. And then you had the guy on the other side that looked like curly hair, looked like it's a piece. Glasses. They're all characters here. They are. I mean, look at their prime minister. He don't comb his hair.
Boris Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, he
does this on the
Look at his
show.
hair. I mean, thank God it's not 15. Round 11. 2 more. This round and next.
Why couldn't this be too? Well, I guess it hasn't been too bad, but why couldn't this be 2-minute rounds too?
I really think.
Wait a second. Is this
What?
Well, I need to find more about how they do boxing over here, because maybe that's how they do it over here.
I don't know. I think that's all. I think it's all over. It's 2-minute rounds for females.
For females, why?
I don't know. It's stupid.
That's
we were talking about
stupid.
because we were talking about how remember MMA when they first started it was like 3-minute rounds, and then when UFC started doing it, it was all uniformed. It would have been nice. I think his fights kind of slowed down. I thought quite a bit for me, but I would have liked to know who these 2 guys were. But I'm not going to.
I think Eubank Jr. is going to pull this one off.
Wow. You better. I think you might.
What are you punching at?
I would agree. Look
Good
how
Lord.
this guy lays on him. If you. Oof, all right. What the hell you doing, man? He pushed me. He pushed me for me. It was on the back of my
That's what he's
skull.
arguing. He's saying he pushed me, made him fall.
Stand on his toes. Well,
I'll just give him.
I don't
damn
understand. I
suplex.
was gonna say I don't understand what the mindset is. Why he keeps grabbing him like that, like he's gonna pick him up and slam him.
Meh. All right, final round.
here we go.
Go on, pull your phone out, start recording it, so you get your reaction to it.
Turn this
Your
way.
reaction.
Like, out of the background.
Eubanks Jr. wins by the scorecard.
You know,
Hey, so
I'm starting to agree with Keith there, not to bring him back up, but who the hell wants to sit here and stare?
God bless Keith.
Yeah.
So what did you think? You went out there, you got some vitamins? Are you feeling? Well, obviously vitamins don't really make you. What did you think of that when he did the thing with the thing? You like it? Because he did the
Yeah, what did you think of the thing with the thing?
there's a name technical. So when he asks you questions,
Well, yeah, I understand.
and he pulls his fingers to see if your body is accepting it or not.
It's one of those things where I was like, let me be open-minded with this, because like the problem is like, well, this is kind of neat if you can figure stuff out with this, but at the same time, it also felt like a
Scam.
carny show.
Ooh.
But like I told you, I've heard accounts of what you said in your experience there, your experience with Sadie and the stuff that you got for her, your mom.
Yeah.
And then while I was in there, there were people talking about, hey, I tried this, that thing, and it worked. So
Yeah.
like I say, it's like I'd go back if I needed anything, because there was all kinds of stuff up there that I looked at.
What'd you get?
Just like a super supplement. I mean, he wanted to give me some stuff that would benefit, like like to remove parasites from you, like some other stuff. I just,
You know, I've been saying for years you get worms. But,
yeah. But he was like, you might have this, we need that, whatever. But no, it's weird because I went up there to get that stuff that he had got, because I was just like, it was one of those things I heard about, it, like impulse about, well, let me just go up there and get it, even though I don't need it.
I think it would
I
be.
need this stuff.
I tell you, I think it would be good just to have it in a box. So if you do get, or if you know someone, you can just give it away and then replenish and stuff like that.
Like there's other stuff up there I wouldn't mind going up there and trying.
I will say when he brought that stuff over that Sadie used, I started taking it as well, just because that way, in case I was infected.
Yeah.
I mean, Sadie started feeling better pretty fast.
Yeah.
And the silver water was on point, and there's a lot of people that, you know, talk about that. And
I think that's the other thing you read. I think he just recommends the silver water.
That's
he recommended some other people too, but that's like $50.
It's $100 for 2 bottles.
Yeah, $100.
So we're gonna waste our time with this.
That guy needs to fight Oscar Williams. I hope it almost makes if Eubank loses, then he's going to be like, why were you dancing in the corner? Well, here we go. Get ready. I want the belt.
He gave me a free sample of those MC things,
Gave me a free sample of that. Too.
and I tried it, and it was just it tastes like sunflower seeds. Really no taste.
You ate them without putting them in something. Okay.
Yeah, but just as
What are they for?
They have like amino acids, and what were they better than? Like they're better than flax seeds. I think you were talking about. Maybe.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it was just one of those things where I couldn't eat a whole bunch of these. Now, obviously, they say like put it in yogurt or put it in something.
Well, I put it in my smoothies.
What else do you have? That wasn't great. There's some stuff up there. I know we have the honey up there, the raw honey.
I can get that on the farmer's market, though, as long as I can get it.
I got some honey at the house. It's really good.
You know, if I have to, I'll go over to the grocery store and buy I'll try to find something that's,
Sold in
local.
Virginia, yeah.
Try to find something that's local. That's horrible ending right there.
Well, that was exciting.
Not a bad, terrible fight. That guy right there, man, I liked how he just kept moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was quick to go forward on him, sometimes to his detriment.
Yeah, I was about to say, he really didn't have much of a choice. I mean, his only hope was to move forward and hopefully catch him with something.
Sure.
They did hit him a couple times.
And we go to your judges for the decision. Victor Lachlan, Phil Edwards, Terry O'Connor.
They're both winners.
116, 109, 116, 108, 117, 109. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Chris Eubank Jr.
Now bring the other guy in the ring so he can get in Eubanks' face and they can promote the next fight.
How big them trunks are?
Good grief, I just noticed that.
That's Lord.
How do they stay out?
I don't know. God. Okay.
Unless there's obviously tighten it up on the inside and that big band is just there to offer protection from the low blows and then plus give mobility for you. But I don't know.
All right. I guess we can let this keep rolling and go on and sign off. Got anything to say or promote?
No.
What's your YouTube channel? Are you still the guy over there?
I can't remember what my damn YouTube channel is now either.
Twitter?
Follow us at Potato Shop Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, right here on Twitter.
Yeah. And you can follow him somewhere. We'll put it up later. See you later.